Hey everybody, what's up? Tim here with this week's Faith on Fire post. Hope you are awesome and seeing God show up and do amazing things. And I hope you're taking the principles from His Word that we're talking about and you're doing amazing things with those truths and those scriptures. So the title for today's shoot is How to Know What to Do When You Don't Know What to Do. So I would be asking a stupid question. If I ask you, did you ever get into a situation where you absolutely had no idea what to do, you weren't sure what action to take, and you just didn't know what way to go? Well, you've been there and so have I. And if you put into practice the things that we're going to talk about today, you're always going to know what to do, no matter what the situation or what the circumstance. You might not want to do them, but you're going to have a pretty good idea of what to do. And at a minimum, you're going to get a good, solid start and start to go down the path that will help you resolve or move through whatever the situation is. So, passage we're going to use today is 1 Corinthians 13. Now, 1 Corinthians 13 is the love passage. It's the passage that always gets read at weddings. And it goes, love is patient and kind. Well, you know, first of all, the word patience there I don't think is translated really well. When you look at patience, patience is more about consistency. It's more about being the same all the time. We look at patience and we read it as being a doormat and letting people just dump on us. And that is not at all what patience is. And it doesn't mean that in the passage. But when you look at that love passage, and I'll challenge you to go back through and read it, and you start to unpack it, and you look at love, love is consistent. Love never demands its own way. And it goes on to say that love never gives up, that love always conquers. That's pretty powerful. So if I can get my arms around love and put that into play, I am going to be consistent. I'm going to be gentle. I'm going to be kind. I'm never going to be giving up. And I'm always going to figure out a way to win. And that's pretty dynamic and that's pretty awesome. Well, in the book of 1 John, it says that God is love. God doesn't show love. He is love. So if you ever have any questions about who God is and His character, all you have to do is pop open 1 Corinthians 13, because where it describes love, we can easily say it's describing God, because if God is love, then love is God. They are synonymous with each other. So that 1 Corinthians passage is a tremendously awesome view as to who God is. So how does that impact us when we're trying to make a decision? How does that help us know what to do when we don't know what to do? A few years ago, there was a big fad with these bracelets that came out that said WWJD, what would Jesus do? I always personally thought they were kind of cheeky, but if it helps somebody live a better life, so be it. But, you know, what would Jesus do? That can sometimes be tough to know, because He ultimately was the Son of God. He was perfect. And, you know, that really doesn't give us a lot of clarity around, you know, what would Jesus do in this situation? So if we reframe that, if we realize that Jesus was God and we realize that God is love, then instead of asking what would Jesus do, all we have to do is ask what would love do? So for every situation we find ourselves in, for every challenge, for every difficulty, for every time we don't know what to do, how would love respond? Well, love is going to be consistent. Love is going to be gentle. Love is going to be kind. Love is going to be affirming. Love is never going to quit. And love is going to win. So in order to figure out how to do when you don't know what to do, ask yourself, what would love do? And once you know what love would do, you also know what God would do. So you now know what God would do, and God's going to want you to do the things that He does, which is ultimately to love. And now that you know what love looks like and what love would do, all you have to do is practice those things that love would do. Ask yourself, what would love do in this situation? And then do it. And then do it again and again and again. And the more you mine into those attributes of love, never giving up, being gentle, being kind, being consistent, the more you're going to see each situation you're in turn and the circumstances flip. Because not only are you injecting love, the most powerful force in the universe, into that situation, but you're also bringing God into it, because God is love. You're embodying love. You're injecting love. You're bringing God, who is love, into the situation. And when those forces come together, there isn't anything that can't be solved, anything that can't be figured out, anything that can't be overcome or conquered. So how do you know what to do when you don't know what to do? Do what God would do, which is to love. Do what love would do. Inject love and all its attributes into that situation. And you will find it not only resolve, but it will work itself out. And the creator of the universe will step in and find a way to make something beautiful and something awesome out of something that could be potentially disastrous. And that is a cool truth to live with. So Tim, with today's Faith on Fire. Hope you found it helpful. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.